India and England are set to add yet another chapter, an explosive one this, to their already intense cricketing rivalry. And that'll happen at the 2026 T20 World Cup, a semi-final that carries more than just a place in the final. But before the first ball is even bowled, the mind games have begun, the friction is there, and the war of words is well and truly underway. Former India cricketer Dinesh Karthik recently took his shot during a podcast appearance, and his targets were two former England captains, Michael Atherton and Nasser Hussain. Karthik delivered a subtle jab that landed like a bouncer. Now, on the surface, it is just banter, but the truth reveals a much bigger story, a story about scrutiny, because when it comes to Indian cricket, the microscope is always on. Now, today, India is the undisputed powerhouse of world cricket, financially, commercially, competitively. But it wasn't always like this. Back in the 70s and early 90s, India were rarely considered serious contenders on the global stage. Then came the moment that changed everything, the historic victory at the 1983 Cricket World Cup, a triumph that transformed cricket in the country forever. But interestingly, even as India grew stronger, one thing remained constant: the doubts, the questions, and the added scrutiny. Yes, the 2007 World Cup win, and then of course the 2011 ODI Cricket World Cup triumph pushed India into becoming genuine contenders in every ICC event thereon. But even then, critics always seem to find something: a pitch advantage, scheduling edge, favourable conditions. If India win, there's a reason. If India lose, there's an autopsy. And that's exactly what Dinesh Karthik was addressing.
I expected Pakistan to do well, purely because they consistently played in Colombo, stayed in one hotel and knew the same pitches, and both you fossils felt that was the main reason why India won the Champions Trophy.
That was Karthik's response to Michael Atherton and Hussain questioning India's title run at the ICC Champions Trophy last year. Because during that tournament, the two English commentators suggested that India benefited vastly compared to other teams from not having to travel between venues, which everyone else had to. And while that remark sparked laughter at that point, it also exposed a familiar pattern. Whenever India win big tournaments, there's always a sense of debate. There's always a qualifier. There's a but. The reality, though, is this: India don't just win cricket matches, they dominate the conversation. And that's the pressure that comes with being one of the biggest teams in the sport today. Because when India play, the world watches. When India win, the world reacts. And when India lose, the world analyzes every single detail. Take this very ICC T20 World Cup, for example. When India stumbled against South Africa earlier in this tournament, their semi-final qualification was being questioned, and instantly decoding everywhere began. Why was Akshar Patel left out? Why did the top order not click? Was the team combination just not right? The debates have been endless, because that's the level of attention this team always generates. And it's not just pundits or analysts. Even players know exactly what it means to face India.
It will be incredibly loud, and you have got to look at that as an exciting opportunity. If the crowd is silent, England are probably going to be doing well. So that's our positive way of looking at it.
That there really sums it all up, because the Indian team doesn't travel alone. They bring the noise with them. That's the reason. It's the reason Darren Sammy, coach of the West Indies cricket team, once said something very telling. If you want to win a World Cup, you have to beat India. Because somewhere along the road, India are always there, standing in the way. So as India prepares to face England in this very high voltage World Cup semi-final encounter, the tension isn't just going to be on the pitch there. It's in the narratives, the debates, the expectations, the scrutiny, because when India step onto the field, the stakes are always bigger. And the most interesting part, no matter what happens in that semi-final tonight, whether India win or whether England manage to repeat 2022 semi-final, one thing is absolutely certain: India will definitely be grabbing most of the headlines.
Power doesn't end quietly. Some deaths are not accidents. They are messages. A gunshot. A crowd. A country frozen. The killer disappears. The questions don't. This is not just about who died. It's about what followed. Governments fell. Armies moved. History rewrote itself. 5 leaders, 5 moments, one pattern, the assassination.